So I'm Martin Scally, I'm a fourth year commerce student. I'm running to be your next SU president. In terms of experience, I've been in the Commerce Society for the last 3 years. I'm currently the auditor. I've worked with the SU with different events. We've liaised with them to bring the best events to UCC campus. Without this liaising, I don't think we could have got the best for the students. I've also played fresher football and trained junior football. I think this experience has made me an ideal candidate for the job. I'm used to working with people, and I like to think that I can get the best out of people. I'm a people person, and I believe fully in synergy. This is where everyone works together to achieve the common goal. In this case, is the betterment of the UCC student's life. My manifesto is online, but I'll go through a few of my main points. Mental health is a big thing. It's just a problem that we don't talk about enough, and there's a stigma attached to it. As well as running events, I like to work with the bystander intervention scheme. It's basically where people are educated on how to approach students that they feel might have mental health issues. They'll be trained on how to approach them and how to deal with it, and how to just basically make it easier on the whole situation. A music festival, I think, is a very achievable idea. It's been in the pipeline for the last 2-3 years, I think. I like to get big Irish acts such as Picture This and Bell-X1 and Hudson Taylor, but with a twist. I like to get UCC acts to open for them. This will propel the UCC acts, hopefully, and help them get their name out there more. Just the general upkeep of UCC campus is another one. I'd like to improve the state of the common rooms. I think the student hub has to be kept non-commercial, and it has to be a common room. I think even stuff as small as putting in microwaves into common rooms and stuff like that, and even putting a bike shed over the bike rack just to keep it dry. Simple things like that. Another thing I'd like to do is extend the library studying space. I don't know how many students I've met standing outside the library at about 7:45 on a wet and miserable Monday morning trying to go in and to study for the day. It's not the ideal setup before exams. So I think that if the students union can put sockets into the Boole, the Cane, the Orb, the Western Gateway building, so that we open up these places as studying spaces for students, it will relieve the pressure of the library, and it will get rid of the queues, hopefully, in and around exam time. Students have enough stress to be dealing with. Having to get up at 7:30 in the morning and stand outside in the rain for the library to open shouldn't be another issue for them.
My name is Katie O'Neill, and I hope to be UCC's next Student Union President. As I touched upon last night, different points in my manifesto regarding mental health will be a huge thing that I'm going to look into. As I said last night, I hope to make it a year-long campaign, not just one dedicated week throughout the year. Introduce different seminars, bring in different charities, and also bring in students. One student, Dara Fleming, made headlines a couple of weeks ago and ended up speaking with the Cork Mayor and County Hall about what his opinions of mental health is and how to remove the stigma in Irish society. And I think getting students like that who are passionate, driven and involved in this at the moment is going to be a huge benefit to UCC, to even just hear from people our own age dealing with these problems. Drugs policy is something that I didn't touch upon last night as we didn't get the time, but at Half Hustings on Monday night, Ben Donnelly mentioned working with companies like The Loop, and I think this will be serious benefit to UCC students, especially around Charity Week next year, where drugs is not just some Charity Week, but it is a huge problem in UCC at the moment. And it's not like people are just going to stop if we tell them no. They're going to keep going. So it's to keep our students informed, to ensure that they know what they're doing. Ben mentioned that The Loop at music festivals, they can test the drugs that you're using. Obviously now that won't be possible on UCC campus, but to bring them in and host a talk where people just become aware of what substances they are using, how to know whether these substances have different ingredients in them or something like that, I think would be great. In terms of entertainment, as Martin previously mentioned about the concert, it's something that is seriously doable, and it'll be a huge benefit to UCC to have a serious kind of event throughout Rag Week, where on campus where we have people in a controlled environment, not just lining up for the clubs at 9 o'clock at night when it's raining and you're absolutely allergic to another night in the same club with the same people, just to bring something different to UCC and it also generate a lot of money, hopefully, to the charity that we choose. And another thing in terms of entertainment that I hope to do is Irish Music Week, so Shocking and Keol, where we would have Irish dancers, Irish musicians, poets, and a huge Céilí in Dever Hall, hopefully, where just bring Irish culture really to the heart of UCC. We're such a diverse campus with so many international students, that to like bring that here so that they would really see what Irish culture is about. It's not just a drinking culture. I think it would really benefit UCC.
Díobh Glare, O'Neill and Art Kelleher. We had quite an enjoyable evening last night at the hustings. I got to speak about a few points in my manifesto, some of the key points, and I'll go through some of those as well today. But what I really wanted to get at last night as well was to get across a little bit about what UCC means to me and what it would mean to be SU president. And I asked attendees last night to think about what they wanted from their SU president and how they viewed the SU. And so I guess I'm asking listeners as well to have a think about that, because I believe that I have the experience and some of the personality traits to make me stand out as a good leader. And last night I had a cheeky quote from John Quincy Adams. It said, "If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more and become more, you're a leader." So without further ado, I'll go on to some of the key points in my manifesto. When it comes to education, standardized feedback is something that I'd love to see introduced across the university. And I think feedback needs to be something that's constructive and can be used as an exam tool, so that we get feedback before end of year exams. And then something that a lot of candidates have pushed for is an opt-out system for the Panopto for the recording of lectures, just to encourage people to get involved in clubs and societies without feeling that their academics are going to suffer. Welfare, my big focus with mental health would be on maintaining mental health rather than intervening at crisis point, and linking this to say how we maintain our physical health. Mental health needs to be maintained as well, so rather than just having a week in the year where we look at intervening and helping people at crisis point, having a year-long focus on maintaining your mental health. And as part of this, I'd like to introduce cognitive behavioural therapy sessions or classes similar to the way that mindfulness classes are offered to students. And it's just to help people kind of reprogram the way they think, to try and have a little bit more positive outlook on the way they deal with problems and life in general. When it comes to Raise and Give, I'm going to push for a Raise and Give year. It's fairly self-explanatory, just to go bigger and better than this year, which has been a real success, I think, in terms of the amount of money that they've raised, and get more clubs and SOCs engagement in projects and events, so we can pool resources and improve events, and then run an SU lottery to try generate a bit more money for our Raise and Give fund. Housing, I have a real concern that housing is going to be a massive problem for next year. So a tenants' rights campaign and alternative housing options are something that I'd like to look at introducing. So basically, I just want to reiterate that I'd like to ask you to think about what you want from your SU president. Thanks very much.